Hello, welcome to new series. This will be 2 parts each, almost an hour. Let's start. Chapter 1, My name is Memma. Sitting on a small bed was a blonde-haired boy with 3 whisker marks on each side of his cheeks. He stared at the clean wall he had just cleaned yesterday. His orange jumpsuit jacket sat on his bed, leaving him in his black chain shirt and orange pants. Naruto stared at the wall with a blank expression. He turned his head and looked at the green flat jacket he was rewarded after becoming a Chunin. The village had been attacked during that time and Naruto had helped a lot and show skills of a Chunin, even taking down a Jinchuriki and his Baijuyo. But Naruto really didn't care about all that stuff. He didn't care about being a Chunin. What he cared about was jutsu. Jutsu was all he cared about. He wanted to learn every jutsu in the world. He wanted to discover the world. Do stuff nobody could even dream about. He was slowly starting not to even care about being Hokage after Lord Third died. Besides, all the job was about being the strongest and doing paperwork. He wanted to become Hokage for the village respect, but being Hokage would only fear them more. Who else wouldn't fear a demon with full control of you and have so much power? And now he was starting to careless about the village. Why protect something that won't protect you? It made no sense to Naruto. Naruto stood up and put on his orange jacket, not caring about his Chunin jacket. Him, Shikamaru and Sasuke all been granted the level Chunin. Naruto walked out his house and closed the door and locked the door. The wind blew his hair and he was on his way to the clothing store ready to get rid of this orange outfit. XXXXXXXXXX. Naruto left the store with his new outfit stored in a storage scroll Erosanin gave him. Naruto was now on his way to the library to look for some jutsu seals, but was stopped when Jiraiya appeared in a leaf shunshin, stopping him. Agaki, there you are. I was looking for you. And what's with that face? You should be proud being a Chunin. Is it because Sarutobi died? No. Just not in the mood today. Ha, well Gaki, you need to get in the mood because we need to go on a mission. A important mission. We need to find a new Hokage. Naruto rose an eyebrow. A new Hokage already? Yeah, if we don't we would look weak, so are you up for it? Naruto thought to himself as flashbacks from earlier flooded his mind about not caring for the village. Only if you give me multiple jutsu scrolls, if not I have no interest in looking for a Hokage. Jiraiya dropped his head. Fine, if the jutsu I have isn't enough I will teach you a jutsu. Alright, that's a deal. What time and day? Tomorrow 3 p.m. we leave. Prepare for the trip. Jiraiya left in a leaf shunshin. Naruto stared at the spot that Jiraiya left. Fool, really think I want to spend days with him? If I was, I will be going crazy. I should get out of here before I do go crazy being in this village. Naruto made hand seals and summoned a platoon of clones. Go and pack my stuff. Go to ninja library, grab anything you can. Go to the weapon shop, grab as much tools as you can. All clones saluted and went their separate ways. Naruto found out the secret of the forbidden clone jutsu from his fight with Neji and Gaara, gaining those memories. Now since old man is dead, nobody should be in the Hokage office probably but some Umbu on guard. I've been able to trick Umbu multiple times and I can do it again. Naruto ran off into the direction of the Hokage tower. XXXXXXXXXX. Naruto climbed through the window hinge as a roach. Umbu wouldn't even suspect this. Bugs always travel on the floor outside, so it wouldn't be suspicious if a bug entered through an open window. He noticed nobody was here, but he can feel the Umbu in the shadows on lookout. Naruto looked at the wall behind the chair and remembered it as a hidden door. He was able to see a small crack under the wall and he crawled under it. When he got in, it gave him deja vu from the time Mizuki tricked him. The room was jam-packed with scrolls and on the highest shelf in a glass container was the forbidden scroll. Since he knew the Hokage must have put extra protection on it, he wasn't going risk alerting the Umbu. So he was going still the scrolls laying around like it was money. Naruto crawled and begun stealing multiple low-level jutsu like D rank and C rank. He also got his hands on a few A ranks and B rank and 1 S rank jutsu. Finish putting the scrolls up, he transformed back into a bug and left through the window. Gaining the memories of his clones, a devious grin came across his face, but you wouldn't be able to see it due to his transformation. He was going plan his escape tonight. Sorry pervy sage, but you will have to search for this new Hokage by yourself, or maybe not. XXXXXXXXXX. Naruto made it home to see his stuff packed, the room nice and clean, it smelled good. He peeked the scrolls and tools nicely packed and smiled and was grateful for his clones. but if he was to truly plan his escape knowing they was just in a battle with Suna and Kusa, they was weak and they will need all the power they need, even him for his Kuwabai power. He moved his bed from the wall and opened a secret floor. He made the floor to hide from villagers as a kid. He walked down the stairs and turned on the lights. Only a few stuff laid on a table but was useful. Naruto created a single clone and walked to his table. He grabbed a stim shot and ordered the clone to roll up its sleeve. It did as it was told and rolled up its sleeve. Naruto pressed the needle into the arm, injecting the blood. He had just created a blood clone. He always knew it would be useful for situations like this. When he was younger and continued to fail the clone test, he did research on every clone, and blood clone caught his attention the most. Basically creating a literal clone of yourself that's stronger than other clones and act just like the real you. And stayed alive for as long as the real creator lived. From today and until you bring back the 5th Hokage, you are Naruto Uzumaki, the unpredictable ninja. Knucklehead brat. Goofball that wears a orange jumpsuit that screams kill me. The clone pointed to himself. If I'm you, who are you? Me. Well, you can call me Memma Uzumaki, a Rouge ninja of the Leaf Village. Meet that old pervert at the gates at 3:00 p.m. for a mission to bring back the 5th Hokage while I plan my escape. Oh okay boss, well what should I do as of now? Just act as how the old me would act, go do something, you know, check up on some people, hang out with people, just don't bother me. Yes sir boss. The clone ran out the hidden room and left out the house to act like the real Naruto. Now I think Memma Uzumaki needs a new makeover. Naruto left the room, closing the door and putting his bed back before going into the bathroom. He brought in his products for his new makeover. Naruto started to read the label. First, clean your hair, make sure all dirt is out your hair before using. That's pretty easy. Do I take a shower or just wash my hair? I'll just wash my hair. Naruto turned on his sink and wrapped a towel around his neck and started to rinse his hair. When he finished, his hair was flat but clean. Naruto took the hair dye out the box and looked at the black hair dye. I think I may need a clone for this. Naruto created a clone, making it grab a chair for him while he leaned back in the chair, his head above the sink while the clone dyed his hair. So why are you deciding to change our hair color? Baka, I said that I was leaving the village and I want to change my identity. I'm pretty sure what I think of you think of it as well, so how do you not know this? Asked the real Naruto. Wel dash. No, stop, don't finish that, I'm reading your thoughts, just finish dyeing my hair. The clone did as told and dye Naruto hair black, his hair turning black as well. The clone dispersed and Naruto stood up and looked in the mirror and gave a small smile. Naruto dug in the hair gel that sat on the sink counter and fixed his hair back into the spiky hair he had. He put on his clothes, the black pants, black shinobi sandals and black and red armbands. The same outfit Memma wore but without the cloak and mask. Naruto put on a black shirt with the Uzumaki swirl on the back he had in his dresser, he will usually wear when he wasn't on a mission. This will have to do until I get better gear. Naruto put his kunais and shuriken in his belt holder since he didn't have a pouch. Well, he did, but he wasn't going wear it since it was ragged. He put smoke bombs in the smaller parts of the belt buckle and sealed explosive tags on the armbands. He was ready to start his life as Memma Uzumaki. XXXXXXXXXX. Side note, last chapter was a flashback, or you can say that's how Naruto became Memma. Chapter 2, Welcome Home Memma. In a very small village it was dark and cold, but you can also say it was somewhat bright. The brightness didn't come from the sun though. You was able to hear people gasping, not from shock but from horror. People gasping for end, knowing their life was about to end. One man was being dragged throughout the dirt by his shirt, leaving a trail of blood. The man dragging him dropped him by a campfire as he watched as the hopeless men tried to crawl away. Please, spare my life, I beg of you. His pleasing was cut off when a kunai was stabbed in his back, making him scream, but that ended when a kunai made its way into his head. The man checked the man for anything useful, only finding small and weak jutsu scrolls. But he didn't care, he was taking it. Something in the corner of his eyes moved and he turned to see a man he thought killed earlier was still moving. He looked to see he was barely living and he was struggling to stay awake. He only had around 5 minutes to live, so being a kind person like him, he decided to end his misery. He walked over to the man and stomped on his head, his brains flying everywhere. Using a small fire jutsu he burned the body. He looked around looking at his mass destruction. His job here was down as he begun to leave his cloak dancing in the wind. XXXXXXXXXX. In a new village at that was active even though it was the middle of the night. Some wouldn't call it a village but would call it a kingdom. It had tall nice buildings, some buildings even made of glass. The streets was still somewhat busy. Ninjas traveled throughout the village reporting missions or just playing around using ninja abilities. This village was called Magnolia. In the middle of the village was the tallest tower, or what you can say a mansion, where the leader stayed at. But currently the leader was out, so the second in command was taking over running the village. XXXXXXXXXXX. In the palest, a girl with pink hair with two bangs on the side of her face with her hair braided in the back. She wore a black long coat with a white dress shirt and pants. Her name was Makima. Yes, the same Makima from Chainsaw Man. She sat at the desk, a fake smile stitch on her face, signing and declining documents. She was taking over since she was second in command under her boss. The boss' right-hand man stood next to the desk, standing protective near her. He was tall and was muscular and wore a all-black suit with sunglasses. He had short black hair. His name was Taejan. The door opened and a group of 4 people step inside. A team. The team leader, the sensei, laid an envelope on the table. Squad 4 here to report mission. Makima nodded and watched as the team left to end their shift for the night. Makima picked up the file and opened it and read the report. Once she finished, she sat the report to the side where all the complete missions were. XXXXXXXXXXX. The masked men walked up to the gates to the village of Magnolia. When the guards noticed their leader, they quickly bowed their heads and pressed a button opening the gates. "Welcome home, Leader Sama," spoke one of the guards. The man gave them a nod before walking in his beautiful village. When he entered, multiple eyes focused on him. Civilians and ninjas greeted him and bowed their heads. Appearing in a shunshin was a man with black hair in a ponytail. He wore a black suit, a sword on his back. This man was named Aki. Yes, Aki from Chainsaw Man. He spoke in a calm but polite tone. "Would you like me to escort you to your palest, memma?" The now named memma nodded and let his escort him to his palest. When Naruto entered his palest, he opened the door leading to his office. When he opened it, he saw Makima, Taejan and some other assistants. The assistants bowed while Makima stood up and walked over to him and took off his bloody coat and sat it on the floor. "Thank you, Makima. Please go and prepare my bath." Makima nodded and left out the room. "Taejan, may you get me a fresh pair of clothes?" Taejan nodded and went to follow his boss' orders. Memma took off his mask and sat it on his desk and looked over at his female assistants. "Please take my stuff to the washer room." The assistants picked up his bloody cloak and shirt and went to go wash his stuff. He would have gave them his pants, but he was stripping down in front of them. He will give Makima his pants. He pressed the wall behind his chair, channeling the Kyuubi chakra so the door can open. "You really fond of using my chakra gaki?" laughed the Kyuubi in Naruto head. The two became friends over the 3 years, even going as far becoming a perfect Jinchuriki, and the Kyuubi giving Naruto his name Kurama. "Go back to watching cartoons, Fox," Kurama growled. He hated when Naruto called him out for watching cartoons on his couch that was big enough for him to sit on in his house. Naruto walked in his secret room. Only him and the people he trust knew about, not like they would be able to enter anyway. The room was white and filled with scrolls containing jutsu, seals, armory and ECT. Creating shadow clones, he handed over around 100 scrolls and had them sort them out and put them in its category. He would learn them tomorrow. XXXXXXXXXX. Walking in his bathroom, a towel around his waist, he looked at the hot bath ready for him. He had Makima take his pants to the washer. Putting his towel to the side, he stepped in the bath. The warm water hit his naked body like a truck. "Now I can finally relax." XXXXXXXXXX. The next day in Konohagakure. It was a bright sunny day in Konoha. The village was filled with joy. It was a peaceful village. Inside the Hokage office. Inside of the office sat Tsunade, glancing over the recruited shinobis in the room for their mission. Sitting behind her on a window was Jiraiya, taking pictures of Tsunade but unknown to anyone, which he was going jack off to later on. Standing in the room was Shikamaru Nara, Koji Akimichi, Ino Yamanaka, Niji Hyuga, Hinata Hyuga, Rock Lee, Tenten, Kiba Inyazuka, Shino Abarame, Suzuki Uchiha, and they joined in Sensei but Kurane since she was pregnant. Tsunade took out a piece of paper and showed it off to the group. You may be wondering why all of you are here. We have an important mission. Ever since the day Naruto left the village, country's been breaking our alliance. Their reason simple. Naruto is no longer a part of our village. Everyone frowned, remembering the blonde knucklehead. Jiraiya stopped taking pictures and frowned. He remembered the day Naruto left. Flashback. When the four reached the gates, they sigh in relief, finally being home. The Naruto clone looked around, noticing his mission was done. Tsunade has been brought back to the Leaf Village. His work here was done. He will be able to go back to the Shadow Clone realm and hang with his others clones. Well, let's get you settled in Heim, said Jiraiya, giving Tsunade a smile. Tsunade smiled and turned around to Naruto. At first, she will admit, when meeting the blonde she thought he was an idiot with no skill. But was happy to meet the blonde and was the reason she was here. Tsunade was about to speak but was cut off by Naruto. Now that you are here, my mission is complete. I slightly enjoyed my time on the mission and learning those jutsu. But sadly, Naruto looked up with dark blue eyes. I was never there. As he said those words, Naruto disappeared into thin air. Jiraiya and Tsunade eyes widened and was confused and shocked. Shizen was also confused to what he meant. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes. I don't feel his chakra. End of flashback. Your mission is to travel to the land of Hashigakure. The village is called Magnolia. Have any of you heard of it? Sakura spoke up. Yeah, I've heard of it, a new village that was built a year ago. Tsunade nodded. Since we need allies and this village doesn't have any at the moment, we should take advantage of this opportunity. You are to meet with the leader and ask for an alliance. Knowing us from Konoha, he would most likely accept. Hokage-sama. Wouldn't this be beneficial more to them and less to us because they're weak? Asked Kiba. Tsunade shook her head. It's beneficial to us both, plus I hear great news about the village and they seem pretty strong for a new village. You are to pack for the mission and leave ASAP. XXXXXXXXXX. In Magnolia. Naruto stood in his office with multiple figureheads. He was dressed in a long black cloak and black combat shoes. He wore black gloves and his white mask. Lord Memma, I wish you luck on your trip, spoke a man with green hair with black eyes that wore a traditional outfit for figureheads. A white long coat with gold outlines and a white suit. Naruto nodded to the men. Before you go, you must wear your hat. Lord Memma, said a girl in a sweet voice who had long black hair and purple eyes. A smile, a genuine smile, stitched on her face while she handed the black cage-looking hat toward Naruto. Naruto groaned and took the hat, placing it on his head. Oh, you should also remove the mask, it would be disrespectful and untrustworthy to the other village, said the girl whose name was Amari. Naruto groaned again, making everyone chuckle. Naruto removed his mask. His face was no secret to anyone in the room or his village, he just felt comfortable with it on. I will just use my cloth. Naruto dug in his cloak pocket and wrapped the cloth mask, only covering his bottom face up to his nose. Naruto did a standing bow to his group of higher-ups. Even though he was the leader, they all respected each other. I will be taking me leave now. Hi Lord Memma, said everyone together. Naruto looked at the two people who will be accompanying. The people accompany them was a girl with short spiky black hair and a red jumpsuit. She had a permanent bored expression on her face. The other guy was Naruto apprentice. Since he would be gone for a certain amount of time, taking and training his apprentice on the way would be best. His apprentice had white short shaggy hair and blue eyes. He wore a black combat shirt and combat pants with black combat shoes. He also wore black gloves. He was 12 years old but was easily high and low joinin level. Naruto nodded to the two, signaling for them to follow. The two followed and waved off the higher-ups. Makima continue the role as the leader. Taejon keep as bodyguard. Don't destroy my village while I'm gone. After saying those words, the three vanished from sight. The trip was to Kirigakure and form an alliance with the Mizukage. Since they just got a civil war, Kiri would need an alliance to look strong from their weakened state. All Naruto really wanted was jutsu scrolls. XXXXXXXXXX. Dashing through the forest was the team Tsunade sent. Kakashi was thinking of Naruto throughout the whole trip. He remembered being sent on a mission to find Naruto and Jiraiya's spy network. Last location on him was somewhere around Hashigakure. He noticed his failures and so did everyone. He looked down at the group and smiled. Looking at Sakura, she was no longer allowed Sasuke fangirl. She became a woman who was Tsunade's apprentice and her strength was almost on par with hers. She really came a long way. Sasuke wore a white open shirt with a blue belt around his waist with grey pants. Wearing black long sandals to finish off his look. He was on par with Kakashi, already awaking the 3 tomo of his Sharingan. If using his curse mark stage 1 he would be stronger than Kakashi, also making him the strongest joinin in the leaf. When the sound ninjas tried taking Sasuke by force, Kakashi was on his way to tell Sasuke about Naruto departure. Luckily he was able to get there in time and stop the sound 4. Sasuke learning of Naruto departure really was shocked and even questioned himself if he wanted to stay. If the blonde idiot saw something wrong with the village, how couldn't he? After losing his rival, Sasuke didn't have that push to continue getting stronger, but thanks to Kakashi he was able to teach Sasuke more because he was able to focus on one student since Sakura's was training with Tsunade and Naruto left. Looking at everyone else, nobody changed that much. They got stronger and changed their clothes, other than that nothing was noticeable. Maybe a little downrot in the group since Naruto wasn't there. I think we should stop here and get a small snack break, ordered Kakashi, causing everyone to stop and land on the ground. Everyone sat down and formed a circle and opened a lunch they packed for the trip. Everyone conversed and ate. XXXXXXXXXXX. In Konoha. Appearing from the shadows was a short bulky man with a mask and a all-black suit. He looked around and found the house he was looking for. The 4th Hokage house. He was sent on a mission by his leader Memma to sneak into Minato house and steal anything valuable. Using the blood capsule Memma gave him, he wiped some against the door, activating the blood seal. He stepped inside and the house was nice but had dust laying everywhere for being untouched. He saw the pictures of Memma mom and dad and was able to see the features. XXXXXXXXXXX. The next day. Naruto eyebrow was constantly twitching. His student was begging him to teach him a jutsu. Memma-sensei, when are you going to teach me a new jutsu? Asked him. What? Did you even master the jutsu I was teaching you? Questioned Naruto. Face dropped. That jutsu is hard. Plus we don't even have water balloons on us. He was right, they didn't have any water balloons to train on the Raise-non. When I see fit I will teach you something new. Took a deep sigh but accepted his sensei orders. Somewhere else. Hinata had her Byakugan active and gasped and stopped her pace, causing everyone to stop. What is it, Hinata? Asked Sakura. It's 3 people ahead of us and their chakra huge. One have mid-joinin chakra. The other have low cage and the other one have chakra above a Baijuyo. Everyone let this information sink in. What are they doing? Asked Kakashi. Just walking, but the one in the middle with the high chakra, it's so dark, I've never seen anything like this. Then we should be on guard. If you saying his chakra reserves is high and dark like a Baijuyo, the guy is probably a Jinchuriki. Said Niji. Is it Gaara? Asked Kiba. Hinata shook her head. He's wearing a hat that's covering his upper face and a mask similar to Kakashi covering his lower face. If push comes to shove we should be able to take them, it's 14 of us. Said Shikamaru, everyone agreeing with him. A few minutes later the 2 groups crossed paths. The Konoha group got a look at the tree. A kid. A girl with a red jumpsuit and the one who seemed to be the leader. He had a hat and a mask similar to Kakashi shadowing his face. Wearing a black cloak. Naruto also took notice of the group but didn't care about them, but did wonder why was a large group sent out on a mission for. He passed by Sasuke and gave him a side glance. To Kakashi they seemed like ordinary people, but the guy in the middle looked suspicious. But was still glad there wasn't no problems between both groups. He smells like blood. Whisper Kiba to the group. His chakra is also familiar. Said Shino. Well, I'm just glad nothing happened, said Kakashi. I wonder where they going. Thought Sasuke. XXXXXXXXXX. 3. Naruto has reached the gates of Kirigakure. He had to admit the mist was quite annoying, it reminded him of Zabuza. That also reminded him to check Zabuza and Haku grave. Naruto and his group was stopped by 3 gate guards. We aren't allowing any visitors at the moment. Spoke one of the men. Naruto rose his hand ls in defense. We aren't here to start any trouble. We are here to seek an alliance with your village. Since your village just won a civil war and my village has just been built, I thought it would be smart to form an alliance. The 3 gate guards shot each other glances. So are you the leader of this so-called new village? Ask one of the men. Naruto gave him a nod. So can we enter? We will have to escort you there, said one of the men, leaving his post to escort them inside the village. Naruto noticed the weird and suspicious looks they got but didn't really care. In total the village was beautiful, better than the Leaf Village design. Yes, it had mist in the air but it added to the look. They reached the Mizukage Tower and was escorted inside the office. There was a beautiful woman with orange long hair that went down almost touching her feet. A bang of hair covered half of her face and she wore a blue outfit with fishnet under it. A man stood next to the desk who had blue hair that stuck up and an eye patch covering his eye, but from Naruto hidden Sharingan he was able to see chakra coming from the cover eye. Ao gave the group a strange look and was on guard but also saw chakra coming from the man eye due to his Byakugan. Who are these people and why did you bring them to me? Asked the Mizukage. The Chunin quickly bow. Mizukage-sama, these people wanted to talk with you. Mei stared at the group and wondered if these was some people trying get information on Mist after its civil war. The Chunin quickly left the office, leaving to go back to his duties. Naruto cleared his throat. Mizukage Dano, I came here on friendly terms seeking an alliance. Mei raised an eyebrow. An alliance? Why would someone seek an alliance with Mist knowing its state as of now? Don't lie to me or I'll kill you. Naruto laughed at the bold statement she made. He knew she was strong because she was a Kage, but going as far to say she would kill him was a joke. That is why I seek an alliance, knowing that your village is at its lowest right now. Other nations can come attack you. I also have new village that I made, so I think we both could benefit from this alliance. Mei narrowed her eyes at the figure. Let me see your face, I want to know who I'm dealing with. Naruto sighed but made sure to activate a genjutsu over his Sharingan eye. He removed his hat and took off his cloth mask. Mei instantly blushed but hid it quick. Alright, so what can you do that will help Kiri? Wait, we helping these people? Asked Kamwa, giving his sensei a weird look. Naruto mentally slapped himself. Of course we helping them, that's what an alliance is. You need to study more. Said Akeno. Kamwa growled and glared at the girl, then folded his arms. Sorry for my student behavior, I haven't taught him much knowledge. You haven't taught me much at all. Mumble Kamwa. As I was saying, what do you think Kiri needs? Mei looked up and put a finger on her chin. Well, we can really use the extra hands to help rebuild some part of the village. More weapons and money. More food other than seafood. That's it, really it, are you up for it? That can easily be solved. It's Mei, said Mei with a chuckle. So anything you would like. Naruto smiled. Just a few jutsu scrolls. Mei and Ao blinked a few times and shook their heads like they was tired. You said jutsu scrolls. Yes, that's all I ask for you, just jutsu scrolls. I don't need anything else. You sure you just want jutsu scrolls? 110% sure. Okay, I will have to get it from my hidden vault. Naruto nodded and waited for the Mizukage to come back. When she came back with a box and Naruto smiled hard. She sat the box in front of them and nodded to the box. Naruto stepped aside and let Akeno seal the box away. Mei sat down and grabbed an alliance paper from her desk and wrote her signature down, handed it to him. Naruto wrote his name down but used Memma instead of Naruto. Now the alliance was finally complete. Nice doing business with you, Memma Uzumaki. To be honest, I thought all Uzumaki were dead, but I guess not. Kiri and Magnolia is now officially an alliance. Naruto and his group was about to leave until Mei stopped them. Also, if you see the 7 ninja swordsmen blade, please bring them back. We've been looking for Kyubikarei Basho and Samahata. Naruto looked at her confused. You haven't reclaimed Zabuza blade? Mei shook her head. Do you know where it is? Naruto nodded his head. I met him when I was a kid. I also fought him. After we killed him, we used his sword as a headstone. What? Mei and Ao both shouted. You used one of the 7 swords of Kiri as a headstone? Said Ao, who was now furious. Stop crying, I'll get it back and have one of my summons bring it back to you. And with Samahata is with Kisame, I have to deal with Akatsuki anyways. When I see him I will bring it back. What makes you so confident you can beat Kisame? Asked Mei. Do you underestimate my strength? Mei smiled and shrugged. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Let me show you just a taste of my power. Naruto sent out a chakra push, pushing out a small bit off his chakra. When he did this, Mei desk flew and was sent flying out the window and his chakra washed over the whole village. The whole village was on alert. The only time they felt such chakra was fighting Yugura, and it was stronger. Wow, I knew sensei was strong but not this strong. Thought him what? Akeno had to hold onto the wall with her chakra and her bored expression was wiped off her face. Stopping his chakra he let everyone breathe. Turning around he was ready to leave but multiple Umbu guards burst into the room, weapons drawn. Mei rose her handed, stopping them. She panted and caught her breath. Are you a Jinchuriki? Naruto turned around and gave her a smirk. One of the strongest, and that wasn't even 10% of my chakra, said Naruto, leaving out with his group, stunning everyone. Mei smiled and licked her lips. You should visit sometime, memma, maybe even spar, in bed if you know what I mean. Everyone looked at the Mizukage with shock expression while Naruto put back on his mask. Sensei, she just offer you sex. I know, brat, it's nothing new. XXXXXXXXXXX. In Konoha prison. A red-haired girl sat in her prison cell staring at a picture. It was of her and a blonde-haired boy. She heard a tray slide under the cell gate and looked up to see a purple-haired girl bring her food. She got out the bed and quickly went to the cell door. Let me out of here, I already gave you all the information you need. Anko smirked at the girl. It's not that we need more information out of you, it's that you was one of Orochimaru's lapdogs. Teiwei growled at her and her hand tightened around the bars. You act like I had a choice. Even someone like you should know that. Anko scoffed and walked away to feed the other prisoners. Teiwei dropped her head and stared at her food. Water with fish and rice. She wasn't hungry nor had the appetite for it and went back to her bed staring at the picture. The only person that truly seemed to care for her. She was still able to feel his chakra after he let her mark him. She wanted to be with him because he promised to get the curse mark off her, but thanks to that old pervert it was off. But she still had plans to be with him. She wondered, did he think about her? Did he care if she was alive or not? It was the worst experience ever. Being Orochimaru's servant was better. She didn't even know what was going on outside of the world. Sitting in these prisoners' outfits, only able to shower once a week. And her flute was gone. She couldn't help it anymore and begun to cry, her tears falling on the picture. Will you ever come for me, Naruto? XXXXXXXXXXX. Flashback. When Naruto left, he had stumbled onto a base in the middle of nowhere. It looked sus, but he went with his gut and entered the base. It was dark, cold, and the only source of light was the lit candles. To him, he was able to see everything was practically empty. He walked around and entered rooms and was about to leave until stumbling in one room. It had caught his eyes and had what he wanted. Scrolls. He walked in the room and saw multiple stuff scattered around and was able to tell this was stuff you would use to test on people. He took off his backpack and opened it, stuffing scrolls inside his bag until he stopped at a certain jar. A Sharingan sitting in a jar that was a 3-tomo. Naruto was shocked and confused why a Sharingan was just laying around. Before he was able to pick it up, he heard something flying in the air and ducked his head a kunao in the wall. Turning around, he saw a red-haired girl with a flute. Paying her no mind, he went back to examining the jar. Teiwei was about to play her flute but got ticked off when she saw the enemy wasn't paying attention to her. Teiwei growled. Konoha scum always think you superior than everyone. Naruto turned around and pointed to his forehead protector, showing a slash through the middle. I no longer work for Konoha. Teiwei had a stunned expression on her face and slowly walked behind him, looking over his shoulders since he was a bit shorter than her. Why is a Rouge Leaf Ninja here? Getting a better look at the blonde, she noticed him from the Chunin exams. You the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, aren't you? What is it to you? Asked Naruto. Just weird that a village Jinchuriki would leave their village. She walked in front of him and sat in the table. So tell me why you leave your village. Why are you talking to a possible enemy? Teiwei smirk. You won't do anything to me, so I don't see you as a threat. Naruto rose an eyebrow, looking at her, knowing I'm a Jinchuriki the Kyuubi, at that you aren't scared. You must be really dumb or really confident in your abilities. You didn't answer my question, why are you here? Naruto sighed. I just somehow found it and it caught my attention. Why are you here? Asked Naruto, returning the question. It's my job as a Kusa-nin to help clean this place out since we moved to another hideout. Kusa ninja, that means this is Orochimaru hideout. Teiwei nodded her head. That's how you know I'm a Jinchuriki. What's your name, Blondie? Uzumaki Naruto, but you can call me Memma for now on. Teiwei eyes widened. Did you say Uzumaki? I didn't stutter, did I? Teiwei growled at Naruto. I didn't expect to find a Uzumaki here like myself. It makes me more interested in you. Naruto looked at her questioningly. There's a Uzumaki clan. Teiwei looked at him weird. Your village must haven't told you anything. Naruto shook his head negative. As expected, let me guess this how all Jinchuriki are treated. Naruto gave her a nod, finishing reading the notes on the Sharingan. Well, bad news, everyone dead but us. That's a shame, thought Naruto. Naruto was ready to leave until Teiwei grabbed his arm. Wait, if you are a Uzumaki, stay and come with me. Naruto looked at her and his eyes went to her neck. He touched her neck and Teiwei thought he was a pervert until she noticed he was touching the mark. A curse mark. My former teammate have something similar like this. Do Orochimaru gives everyone curse seals. Teiwei slapped his hand away and had a down face. Knowing you have a curse seal, let me guess he hurts you and orders you around like a puppet, am I right? Teiwei was about to argue and defend herself until Naruto lifted up her shirt and saw the scars and bruises on her body. Teiwei looked down in shame. Naruto lifted her head up by her chin, mocking her look into his eyes. We share each other blood and I don't want to see my family being abused and treated like a slave. Even though I never experienced having a family, but knowing that I have one, I don't want to lose that feeling. I promise you I will free you from that curse seal. Until then, stay alive. Teiwei's eyes widened and was speechless to hear someone care for her. You would really do that for me? Naruto nodded his head and smiled at her. Teiwei stared at the ground, her heart beating fast. She had to come up with something knowing he was about to leave. She wanted to stay with him as long as possible. Noticing the jar, a thought came to mind. You plan on using that eye, aren't you? Naruto looked at the jar and nodded. I can help you transplant the eye if you like. I know a bit of medical ninjutsu. Alright, sure, but I hope you know what you're doing, said Naruto as he laid down on the hard floor. Teiwei took the jar and got the right equipment and started working on his eye. It took 5 minutes until the eye was transplant. Naruto sat up with his new Sharingan and saw the world better and brighter. He turned to Teiwei and smiled. Thank you. What is your name? It Teiwei Uzumaki, she said as she stood up. Naruto put his backpack on and was ready to go, but Teiwei turned him around and gave him a kiss. Naruto blushed and kissed her back. It was a good kiss, plus he would have to rebuild his clan, so this was a great start. Naruto pulled back and caught his breath and looked at Teiwei. You promise we will meet again, right? Of course, we family. Can I make sure we will meet again by marking you? I don't know what you mean, but sure, go ahead. Unexpected. Teiwei bit down on Naruto's neck, pushing her chakra into Naruto chakra, officially marking him. She pulled back and blushed and had to look away. I'm guessing you mark me. She nodded, not sure if she trusted her voice as of now. I wish I can keep this memory forever. Remembering her camera she was to use to confirm pictures that the base was empty, she unsealed a camera and waved it at him. A camera? Asked Naruto, confused. Teiwei walked in front of him and turned around. I don't know the next time we would see each other, but I would like to remember this moment. Please smile for the camera, Naruto-kun. Naruto blushed at the kun but smiled in the camera as she took the picture. Well, I'm off. No, Teiwei, I promise I will save you one day. Teiwei nodded and watched as the blonde walked off. Looking down, she took the picture out the camera and looked at the picture of the two. I love you, Naruto. XXXXXXXXXX. Chapter 4, Dealing with the Zombies. Kakashi squad approached the gates of the new village Magnolia. Even before approaching the village they had one word to describe it: beautiful. They saw the large metal gates connected to the large walls made for defense, so nobody was able to enter the village. As usual, the gate guards did their job not seeing these people and noticed the forehead protectors showing them from the leaf. Putting his hand up, Hirata stopped the group. We haven't seen you people around here. What is your business here? They could clearly see these people was strong by how they talk and carried themselves. Kakashi spoke for the group. We are here on orders from Konoha. For important business. Hirata looked at his fellow gate guard who was staring into the skyboard. Hirata was new to gate guard duty, so with a shrug he tapped the button letting them in. Even though he was strong, he wasn't the smartest tool in the box. Taking another glance at his fellow partner, he called out to him. Hey Jonathan, want to play cards? Jonathan sighed. Whatever, pass the time. Hirata smiled and took out a set of cards and the two started playing. The group was even more amazed looking inside the village. Ino quickly took notice of the people fashion. It was 10 times better than anything she seen. I'm definitely going shopping here, cheered Ino. Shikamaru sighed but did think the village was cool. Lee took notice to all the ninjas jumping to rooftops. I can sense so much powerful chakra, said Shino. Hinata was using her Byakugan shyly looking at all the chakra around her. Even civilians had chakra like Genin or Lochinin. Kakashi was wondering if Naruto was here. He had heard from Jireya's spy network the last location they saw Naruto was somewhat around here. But Jireya wasn't allowed to enter the village due to it not being finished built. Let's not get distracted. The reason we here is to form an alliance, said Sasuke, everyone agreeing with him. I'm guessing that mansion is where the leader is at, said Asuma, gaining everyone attention. Alright, we would head there. Kakashi ordered the group to follow. XXXXXXXXXXX. Reaching the mansion they was allow entry. It was a nice mansion, the primary color white and gray. They notice it wasn't any stairs but something called elevator. Taking the elevator they press the button that said boss. It was the top floor second to the roof. They noticed 2 double doors and automatically knew it was where the leader resigned. Plus a man standing outside the door was a giveaway. Aki gave the group weird looks, having to question them what was their business to be here. Again Kakashi had to talk for the group, saying it was an important meeting with the leader. Even though the leader wasn't here but Makima was the second head, he let them inside. Entering the room everyone was taken aback. The leader was a female. But the boys gave her looks, noticing her beauty. Makima looked at the group, giving them a fake smile she always gave everyone. The only one to earn a real smile was Naruto. How may I help you? Kakashi walked up and cleared his throat. We would like to schedule an alliance with you, Hoshikage. Makima tilted her head, amused, and almost cracked a laugh. I'm sorry, but I'm not the leader. On the leader can sign alliances. Since you from Konoha, I can assign you rooms if you would like to stay. The group was confused. If this wasn't the leader, who was this? Wait, if you not the leader, who is and who are you? Asked Sakura. Makima smiled. I'm the leader, second head. The leader had left and won't be back until 3 days. So would you like a room to wait in? Everyone nodded. Taejeon, can you escort these people to a room at a hotel? Taejeon didn't even speak and walked over to the door opening, letting the group go first. Before leaving, Kiba asked the girl for her name. Makima smiled. It's Makima. Kiba blushed and walked off with his group. The door closed and the fake smile dropped off Makima's face. She was going get ready for a shower. Even though she knew what her master only wanted was jutsu scrolls, she still couldn't sign an alliance without his signature. Opening a door to her left, it led to the room her and Naruto shared. Only she knew Naruto's real name and his background history. And was a little shocked to see his former village seeking an alliance. Going in the dresser, she grabbed a pair of change clothes and a towel for her shower. XXXXXXXXXXX. It'd been 3 days since Naruto had made an alliance with Kiri. He used shadow clones to help rebuild some part of the village and was able to give them Zabuza blade back. Now the 3 was finally home, entering through the gates. What, I will be gone for a certain amount of time looking for someone, so during the time away I would lend you some jutsu scrolls. Are you okay with that? Wa nodded his hand. He understood when his master had to leave sometime. You two are free to do whatever you want for now. Akeno sighed in relief, leaving in a shunshin. So did Wa. Naruto walked through the streets and received respect. People nod at him or bow towards him. Reaching the mansion, he walked inside and went straight to his office. He saw Aki half asleep since it was around 10 o'clock. Aki, you can go home now. Aki shot up and shook the dizziness out his head. He quickly bowed. Hi, Lord Memma. Naruto watched as Aki quickly left to go home. Entering his office, he only saw Taejeon standing like a statue. As I told Aki. Taejeon, you are welcome to go home. Taejeon gave him a nod and disappeared into thin air. He looked around his office and noticed nothing was out of place. Makima did a really good job. Walking over to his secret door, he using the Kuwabai chakra and entered the room. Putting up the scrolls he received. Closing the door, he entered his room, seeing Makima in bed with only a bra and panties scrolling on TV. He noticed her bored expression. Can't find anything to watch. Makima shook her head and smiled at him, a genuine smile. Naruto walked over to the bed and she stood up, giving him a hug. He hugged her back, embracing her and enjoying her warmth. I love you, Naruto-kun. Naruto pulled her into a long deep kiss. Only having to pull away when they both needed air. I love you too, Makima. But I think I need to take a shower first. XXXXXXXXXX. Naruto woke up the next day. Makima head rested on his chest and her legs in between his legs. He lifted himself, waking Makima up. She groaned, but he didn't really care and stepped out of bed. He went straight to the bathroom to clean and fully wake himself up. When he tried turning on the sink water, he noticed his skin was cracking. He sighed he would have to go back to the chambers again to hard his skin. Some people thought this was his real appearance, but it was nothing but a layer to protect his skin in battle. It was something similar to Gaara's sand layer. But to fully heal it would take a week, which he wasn't waiting a week to deal with his enemies. XXXXXXXXXX. Walking out his room, he was fully dressed. All he had to do was get his weapons. He wore a long black cloak that went down to his feet. White fur around the neck and an eye patch over the Sharingan. Using Kuwabai Chakra to open the door, he entered the room looking for the right weapons. Finally, brat, I've been waiting to see your true power. Chuckled the Kurama in his head. You know it got boring watching you pick on those weaklings. So who you after now? Orochimaru. He's a threat, plus I wonder if Teiwei is still there. You still have feelings for her. Of course she's a Uzumaki and I also promised to be with her and I always keep my promises. I just hope Makima and her get along. Was his last thought before picking up a scythe and putting a katana on his back. When he walked out, he saw Makima drinking coffee. When you're going? Naruto knew she was asking, but it felt like she was demanding him. I have enemies to deal with, so you will be taking over again. You do know that Konoha came here for an alliance, right? Questioned Makima, shocking Naruto. Do they know who I am? Makima shook her head. I don't think so, but they are here in a hotel. Who was the people? It was like 14 of them. I'm not describing all of them. Naruto groaned. Probably my old friends and sensei. I don't want to deal with my friends. I will leave the alliance up to you. Ask for the Forbidden Scroll. If they don't accept, the alliance is off. Forbidden Scroll? Asked Makima, interested in the name. Naruto nodded. It's a scroll I stole as a kid, but they upgraded their security. Only the cage can get it. It's a scroll that contains nothing but a rank and higher jutsu, and most of them is forbidden. Makima nodded, knowing the scroll had value. Walking off, Naruto gave her one last nod before leaving the village in a shunshin. XXXXXXXXXX. While he dashed through the trees, Kurama was talking to him. So kid, how will you find his hideout? I'm pretty sure he relocated. Naruto didn't even think about this and blushed red in embarrassment. You're right, but I have an idea. I'm heading to Kusa. They should know where he's at. That's somewhat around Konoha, isn't it? Are you willing to risk being seen? Asked Kurama. Trust me, Kurama, they won't see me. Besides, this isn't even my true form, and in my true form I look nothing like I used to. Kukiyos no Jutsu. Summoning a hawk, Naruto got on top so he will be able to reach his location faster. XXXXXXXXXX. Makima heard knocking on the door. Come in. Stepping inside was Aki. Mikasa-san. Leaf Shinobi is waiting outside. Let the in. Stepping aside, Aki let them in, then closed the door behind them. Hi, Makima-san, is your leader here? Asked Kakashi. Makima shook her head negative. You just missed him. The sigh or drop their heads. Don't worry, but he gave me permission to sign an alliance. Everyone rose their head in relief. Well, as you know, we Konoha would like to strike an alliance with Magnolia. Makima nodded her head, letting Kakashi finishing speaking. All we request is food trade and manpower during dire situations. And you may ask for anything in return. Makima smiled and placed her hands in front of her face. Magnolia would be happy to trade and send manpower. But when you say anything, you mean anything, right? Kakashi nodded his head. Yup, anything. Well, Magnolia would only request one thing, and that is the Forbidden Scroll. Everyone but Kakashi was confused, never hearing about a Forbidden Scroll. Kakashi's eyes narrowed at the girl. How does she knows about the Forbidden Scroll? Only Umbu and the Hokage knows about that. Is she a former Leaf Shinobi? No, I haven't seen her before and she looks young. Sorry, but we will have to talk to the Hokage about that one. Anything else? Makima looked up at the ceiling thinking. If they couldn't get the Forbidden Scroll, what else can they get? They didn't need money, food, or resources. Well, if Magnolia can't get the scroll, then just manpower is what we request in a time of need. Kakashi quickly nodded to this. They had the manpower to back it up to still be known as the strongest village. Pulling out a sheet of paper, Makima signed her name, Kakashi signing Tsunade name. The two shook hands and the Leaf group left happy. Makima fake smile disappeared when she felt a familiar chakra emerge. Coming from the shadows was a short bulky man in all black. Mission was a success. Wait, where's leader Sama? He's not here, so just sit anything you found in our room since I can't open the door. The men nodded and went to do his job. XXXXXXXXXXX. It was midnight while Naruto was walking in a clearing surrounded by a few trees. Until he saw two men walking towards him, a figure carried on one of the men's shoulder. Getting a good look, he was able to see two cloaks sporting red clouds. Akatsuki, thought Naruto. The two men stop a few feet away from Naruto. Kid, I can sense it, that girl they carrying is a Jinchuriki. I already suspected that. Would you like to know the way of Jashin? Asked the man with silver hair with a red scythe in his hand with a wicked grin. Naruto looked at him confused, then chuckled to himself. No, I wouldn't want to know the way of Jashin. Besides, you guys are with the Akatsuki. But I would like for you to hand over the girl. Kakuzu scoffed at the men. You think we would just hand her over? You must be crazy, I got money to make. I knew you wouldn't just give her up. Pulling out his scythe and twirling it, he smirked. Akatsuki is a threat. If I take you two down, the less pain in the ass there would be. Haiden rushed at Naruto, leaping in the air with his scythe. Naruto jumped back and watched as Haiden slammed into the ground. He quickly lifted his scythe up in a defensive style, blocking Haiden's strikes. The two scythes cling off each other and sparks flew in any direction. Ducking under a swing by Haiden, Naruto tried sweeping his feet, but Haiden jumped up and stabbed him in the back. Naruto's body started to glow and sizzle. Haiden, it's a explosive clone. Realization kick in and Haiden jumped back in time, the clone blowing up. Haiden quickly turned around to block a strike from the real Naruto. The two smirk at each other, enjoying the thrill of fighting. The two would land strikes on each other blades before vanishing in a burst of speed and appearing somewhere else. The only time you would see them was with the blades connected. Naruto was able to tell he didn't have a real fighting style, and he fought wild and crazy. Like he didn't care about being hurt. Haiden blade sliced Naruto's arm, causing him to stumble back. Sweeping his leg, Haiden swiped his sword down on Naruto's stomach just to find out it was a clone again. Haiden turned around, getting a huge slash across his chest, ripping some off his cloak off. He did a backflip where he landed next to his partner Kakuzu. Come on Kakuzu, land me a hand. I will only interfere when you in trouble. Haiden was about to talk until a fist landed in his face, sending him flying into a tree, breaking it. Dashing at the down Haiden, Naruto leaped up in the air but was surprised when Haiden threw his blade and it cut his cheek. By holding onto the cord of the blade, it returned to Haiden and he grinned like a madman, licking Naruto's blood. Naruto looked at him in disgust but was shocked to see his skin color turn black with white patterns. Let's both experience this pain together. Haiden stabbed himself in the stomach, Naruto looking at him confused but felt a sharp pain in his stomach, looking down to see it drawn blood. So we both experience the same pain inflicted on us, but isn't it hurting him too? Thought Naruto before his eyes widened. If you does this on the regular basis, he would be dead by now. Is he immortal? Haiden was ready to stab himself in the heart until he felt two hands gripping his ankle. He looked down to see black gloves, then in a second he was dragged underground. Kakuzu felt the ground tremble and questioned himself what was that. Until the ground crack open, which show a ladder of Naruto clones stack onto each other, Haiden around 80 feet up in the air. All the clones started to descend and slammed into the trees, which led it in slamming in the ground. Haiden slammed face first in the dirt. A huge crater formed under Haiden. Naruto noticed how no pain infected on him. So if he's out of his blood circle, he can't hurt me. He was about to walk over to Haiden until a hard fist felt like rock crashed in his face. Naruto flew and bounced and flop on the ground like a fish until crashing into a rock, which stopped him. Blood went down Naruto's lip and his eye was slanted down, giving him a bruised eye. But it didn't last long until his eye regenerated, making his eye normal again. Naruto looked up to see it was Kakuzu. His fist was black before changing back to its normal skin. He heard footsteps and saw it was Haiden, ready to cut him down. His finger twitched and a lighting blade stabbed through Haiden's throat. He laughed to himself while Haiden choked on his blood. He stood up and activated the jutsu before he activated it again, slicing his head off. One down, one to go, said Naruto as he started walking over to Kakuzu, who seemed unfazed about his partner dying. Naruto stopped in his tracks when he heard the idiot voice. Hey Kakuzu, a little help here. Please. Naruto eyes hardened as he turned around and walked back over to Hiden head. As expected, you are immortal. But I thought taking your head off would kill you. I guess not. Naruto feet hovered over Hiden head ready to stomp his brains out until a large cutting wave hit him, sending him flying. Kakuzu picked up his partner head using his stitches to place Hiden head back on. Thank you, Kakuzu. Do you think we killed him? No, he's tougher than that. Soon as he spoke those words, a chakra fist connect with Kakuzu, sending him crashing into a tree. Hiden looked at the man no longer wearing a cloak, his black shirt tattered, so was his pants. And the eye patch gone where he saw the Sharingan. Hiden was cut off when Naruto plunged his knee in his gut. Hiden dropped to his knee, then finding a knee slammed in his face as he fell forward. Naruto stepped on the back of his head, digging his face in the dirt. Naruto sensed Kakuzu coming and stared in the direction. Watching Kakuzu run towards him, Naruto sucked in the air around him. I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and blow you down. Naruto shot a hot stream of fire at Kakuzu, burning him and the ground below. Focusing wind chakra in his mouth, he made the fire 10 times bigger, brighter and hotter, setting the trees on fire, lighting up the sky. A huge explosion was caused, black smoke flying into the air. Naruto watched as the flames finishing burning down instead of the trees that was on fire. Kakuzu appeared behind Naruto without his Akatsuki cloak, giving him a bicycle kick in his back, sending him flying and off Hiden. Doing a backflip and digging his feet in the ground, Naruto looked and watched as a black weird object dropped to the ground as it was dead. 3 of the black things stood up like humans and Naruto looked at it confused. Naruto heard panting and looked behind him to see the blonde-haired Jinchuriki standing up. He noticed her wounds was healed due to her Baijuyo. Yujito looked at the black-hair boy standing in front of her. Her Baijuyo telling her this boy was a Jinchuriki, so she wasn't afraid to stand next to his side. She looked forward and looked at the 2 Akatsuki members she underestimated and didn't know was immortal. Do you have a plan? Asked Yujito. Naruto nodded his head. The silver hair one, I say destroy his head and he's out the picture. And the other one, noticing that one of them dropped dead when I finish my attack, it's dead. So if we take out those 4, he's probably dead as well. Yujito nodded and got into a stance while Naruto pulled out his sword. I get the silver head one, you get the other one. Yujito gave him another nod, the 2 Jinchurikis dashing off, meeting the 2 Akatsuki members in combat. If I get him to drop that blade, he's completely useless, it's like an adult fighting a kid. Leaping over Hiden, he stabbed his sword in his back before pulling out and slicing his back up, giving him multiple cuts. Hiden growled and turned around, aiming for his head. Naruto ducked and swiped his sword at Hiden's arm, cutting it off. Hiden was about to scream in pain before the blade was stabbed in the side of neck, causing him to fall to the ground. Hiden was about to swipe his blade across his face, but Naruto stepped on his arm, breaking his wrist. Hiden screamed out in pain before laughing. No matter what you do, I can't die. We will see about that one, buddy boy. Taking his sword, he slashed at both Hiden's leg, making them useless. Now you can't move. He took a slash at Hiden's head, removing it from the body. Before stomping on his head, killing him for good, blood flying everywhere. He watched as he saw Kakuzu only had 1 heart left. A blue ball circle in his hand, everyone knowing this as the Raise-Non. Before windmill blades started to surround it, it made a loud screeching noise which made both fighters stop fighting. Kakuzu's eyes widened before narrowing his eye at the charging Naruto. He shot a testicle at Naruto, stabbing him in the stomach before it poof. Slamming the Raisen Shuriken in Kakuzu's back, the jutsu cutting Kakuzu in all places. The jutsu is called Wind-style Raisen Shuriken, remember that in the afterlife. Kakuzu was sent flying high in the sky before the jutsu exploded in a bright light. Naruto looked at the blonde girl. You from Kumo, since you have the forehead protector. You can thank me for saving your life later, so go back home. Yujito smiled. Thank you for the help, but you must be crazy if you think I'm going back to that shithole. Naruto was putting on a new cloak from a sealing scroll he had in his pocket. This time it sported a scarf. Oh yeah, you a Jinchuriki as well, that means you're treated like shit as well. Putting the eye patch on, Naruto noticed his skin was cracking more. He now looked like a Edo Tensei. Yujito nodded her head and caught up with Naruto. I'm coming with you, so tell me, what's your name? It's Memma, but I'm on a hunt to kill Orochimaru. If you scared, you free to head back. Yujito laughed to herself. I'm not scared, by the way, my name is Yujito nii. XXXXXXXXXX. Chapter 5, The Search for Uzumaki Naruto. It'd been 2 days since they came back from signing an alliance with Magnolia. In the office when Tsunade got the report, she really questioned herself how they knew about the Forbidden Scroll. It had her up the security and she lost a few hours of sleep behind it. XXXXXXXXXXX. Inside Konoha jail cell sat Teiwa on her bed. She was sitting on her bed staring at the wall until she heard her food tray slide under the gate. She looked up to see Anko walking away. Teiwa quickly rushed out her bed and ran to the cell, stopping Anko. Anko-sai, what do you want again? Teiwa showed her the picture of her and Naruto. You guys looking for him, right? Anko eyes widened before snatching the paper and narrowing her eye at Teiwa. How you get this picture? I know him duh, look, if you get me out of here I show you where he is. How can I trust you? Teiwa turned her away, her face blushing red from embarrassment. I infused my chakra with his, so I know where his chakra is. Anko was confused, then realization kicked in and she laughed. I'm taking this to the Hokage though, but since you know where he's at I have no choice, do I? She unlocked the door, putting Teiwa in handcuffs. I'm sorry Naruto, but I need to see you again. Thought Teiwa, shutting her eyes, ignoring the other sound ninja's rant about her being let out. The two reached the Hokage office, Anko knocking before entering. When the two entered, Tsunade looked at Anko confused, so did Jiraiya, who was sitting on the window. Why did you bring one of Orochimaru's elite joinin? Hokage-sama, she seems to know where Uzumaki Naruto is. Jiraiya and Tsunade eyes widened, not believing Anko words. Anko showed them the picture. It was indeed Naruto and Teiwa in the picture, the two Sanins noticing the Sharingan in Naruto eye. How did he get that Sharingan? Asked Jiraiya to Teiwa in a serious voice. When I met him in Orochimaru hideout he was stealing jutsu scrolls and the Sharingan. Then we took a picture after that. Was you the one who helped him? Asked Tsunade. Teiwa nodded her head. So tell me, how do you know where Naruto is located? Again Teiwa looked away in shame, having to tell people how she marked Naruto. He let me mark him. Mark? Oh, that type of marking. Didn't know you two was that close. Jiraiya had a perverted grin. And chuckled to himself, pulling out a notepad and his pen. Kakashi would love this one. Anko, go and bring me the people who's close to Naruto. Bring me his team. Shikamaru, Hinata and Iruka. Anko nodded before vanishing in a shunshin. Teiwa, take a seat. Ordered Tsunade. Teiwa nodded and walked to the couch, sitting down and waited for the team. When the team arrived they was confused and suspicious at Teiwa. This is the most random group. Thought Shikamaru. Iruka-sensei. I didn't know you did anything outside the academy. Committed Sakura, getting a chuckle from Iruka. Tsunade cleared her throat. Yes, I brought you guys here for a mission. We located Naruto's location. Everyone gained shock looks. Nervous and happy expressions and also serious expression crossed their face. Hokage-sama, how did you locate Naruto location? Asked Hinata. Tsunade nodded to Teiwa. Everyone turned to Teiwa and looked back to Tsunade, confused expression. Tsunade showed the group a photo of Naruto and Teiwa. Teiwa ran into Naruto years back. Not only that, but she injected her chakra with Naruto's, giving her the location of Naruto chakra's signature. Everyone seemed to not know what ejecting chakra was, thanks to Teiwa relief. But Sasuke did take note to the Sharingan Naruto had. How did the dope get the Sharingan? Asked Sasuke, curious and a bit angry. As I said, Teiwa and Naruto met years back at Orochimaru hideout. Teiwa helped plant the Sharingan in his eye. Everyone turned to Teiwa and gave her different looks. That mean Orochimaru had Sharinans in his hideout, said Kakashi. But if he did, why did he want Sasuke? Asked Sakura. Because he wants the next stage of the Sharingan, said Jiraiya, gaining everyone attention. He wants the Mangekyo Sharingan. By taking Sasuke and training him he would have stole his body and went to kill Itachi, causing him to achieve the Mangekyo Sharingan. And when he brought the sound for to the leaf, it was to give Sasuke another stage to the curse mark, persuading Sasuke to Orochimaru's side. Isn't that right, Teiwa? Teiwa just gave him a nod. That was the mission after all. So Kakashi, you would be the team leader but would take the lead of Teiwa to Naruto location. And what if she tried to escape? Questioned Kakashi. Kill her on the spot. Teiwa shudder. Trust me, I won't. I just want to see Naruto again. I'm going as well, said Jiraiya, causing Tsunade to look at him. They will need my help. Don't expect the mission to be sweet talk, Tsunade. Naruto isn't the same as we all knew. Maybe we never knew the real Naruto. What are you saying, Jiraiya? I'm saying Naruto isn't a brat anymore. When I inspected his house I found a secret lair under his house. He'd been planning his escape from the village when he was 6. He knew the old man only cared for him to create bonds with the village because he's a Jinchuriki. Or that's what he think the old man wanted. The Konoha group wasn't shocked hearing Naruto was a Jinchuriki. When the information was leaked nobody cared about it. In his diary he said he only saw you guys as tools only to get what he wanted. But he did admit he did build bonds with you guys and actually thought about staying, but it was too late. Isn't that right, Teiwaya? Teiwaya shrug. I mean he didn't care much about us invading Konoha to take Sasuke. Setsune, this is what I'm saying, we take him in by force. Not only that he's important to us, he's also important to the village, and I have making up to do as a godfather and making up for his parents. Jiraiya stood up and gave the group a look over. So are you ready to fight Naruto? If it comes to it, can you hurt your comrade? Everyone looked at each before nodding and setting off to find Naruto. XXXXXXXXXXX. Somewhere underground in Konoha sat an old man who seemed to be crippled with bandages wrapped around him. Stood kneeling in front of him was 2 root agents. Lord Danzo. When spying on the Hokage we learned and found out about the Jinchuriki location. This caught Danzo's attention, causing him to raise an eyebrow. Lady Hokage sent a team to go find him. What should we do, Lord Danzo? Tail the group, of course, by staying in the shadows. Take him in by force. If you can't do that, kill him. The root umbu nodded and 5 root umbu vanish. A evil grin crawled on Danzo's old face. Finally I found you, 9 tails brat. I can finally have my perfect weapon. Oh, you wait, soon Tsunade I will be Hokage. XXXXXXXXXX. In a clearing where there was burned trees and grass. A destroyed area was the only way to describe it. A plant-like creature and an orange masked man walk around. Ha, Mr. Zetsu, I found Hayden's body. Yelled the overexcited Toby. Oh no. Where is his head? Zetsu sighed in annoyance. Looks like a fight broke out here. I saw them capture the 2 tails Jinchuriki, but it seemed like the mission was a failure. But I wonder who defeated them. Thought Zetsu. Hey Mr. Zetsu, since it's a open slot, am I a Akatsuki member now? Toby, if you find Kako's ring you may join. Yay. Toby, a good boy, I won't fail Mr. Zetsu. Said Toby as Zetsu left the area while Toby went to find Kako's body. XXXXXXXXXX. Naruto walked inside a base with Yujito behind him. If Naruto had to be honest, she was like a schoolgirl, couldn't stop asking questions. Take a step around the corner, he found a group of prisoners in a cell looking horrible. Naruto banged his sword on the gate, scaring the group. If you can tell me any information on Orochimaru, I'll let you all out. One man spoke up. Sorry, we don't have any direct information on him, but a girl in the back may seem to have information on him. Naruto rose an eyebrow and looked at Yujito. Stay and watch them while I go look for this lady. Yujito nodded and let Naruto wander off. Naruto stared at the door where he sensed the chakra signatures from. He politely opened the door and looked at the red-haired girl. Are you the girl those guys talking about? Karen looked at him curious. Who the hell are you? Naruto walked over and sat on the couch, putting his sword on the ground. I guess you are. They told me you may have information on Orochimaru, is that true? Karen stared at him for a second before feeling his warm chakra that made her blush. Stepping back, she closed and locked the door and walked over to Naruto. She sat on the couch taking her glasses off. If I tell you where Orochimaru is, you got to give me something I want. She said in a husky voice. Naruto looked at her confused. Alright, what do you want? Karen wrapped her arms around his shoulder, rubbing on his chest and snuggling in her neck. Naruto pushed her back. You said you would give me Orochimaru location, so where is it? I have a special ability, I'm a sensor ninja, I can detect specific people chakra signatures from a mile away. Naruto rose an eyebrow. She had a wonderful ability and was useful. Now that I told you I can find him, you must let me do what I want to you. Naruto sighed. Go ahead, but be quick with it. She wasted no time getting on top of him and kissing him. She wouldn't go far as to rape him, but would go as far as kissing on him. The makeout section lasted for 5 minutes until Naruto pulled her off him. Alright, that's enough, let's go. Karen had a seductive smirk on her face and leaped onto his back. Naruto didn't care as he walked out the room with her on her back, giving her piggyback ride. Karen was in cloud 9. The warmth of his chakra was unbelievable. Naruto met back up with Yujito, who was still watching the prisoners. Yujito noticed the girl on his back but didn't care. Naruto took Karen off his back to her disappointment and stood in front of the cage. He took out a sealing scroll, unsealing a huge amount of money, and destroyed the prison. You free share the money and do whatever with your lives. The prisoners cheered and rushed to get as much money as they can. Jumping back on Naruto back, Karen rested her head on his shoulder. Naruto had to catch her and just notice her legs was soft and silky. What is your name, girl? Karen Uzumaki. Naruto eyes widened. Another Uzumaki. My clan going be huge, thought Naruto. Let's go, Yujito. Yujito nodded and followed along. Now take me to Orochimaru. Karen nodded and whispered in his ear, giving the location. XXXXXXXXXXX. In Magnolia sat a worry Makima. It been almost a week since Naruto left and she was worried. Naruto should have been done and defeated Orochimaru. That's why standing in front of her was a short man in all black. Yutsu, knowing you can locate Memma Chakra, I want you to go search for him and check on him for me, okay? The now named Yutsu nodded and sunk into the ground. XXXXXXXXXX. That's the end. We'll upload next part soon.